Good evening. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's funny because a lot of people who have listened to my music asked me about my creative writing process. And so I'm going to give you a little example of my creative writing process. Normally, I'm in a comfortable place. That starts with that. Second, if I have the opportunity, I try to hit a place that is full of nature, beauty, and surroundings that are inspirational in a neurophysiological way. That means my eyesight is going to be really cool. What I see is going to be amazing, which, gives off this positive energy that allows me to use my imagination in above average way. And I think everybody is possible of accomplishing this if you're in the right setting. So, like I said, a lot of my friends and people who listen to my music ask me about how am I able to create lyrics. And I write my own lyrics, that's one. And I don't mind helping other people write lyrics. So it's not a thing about, who writes what. I like writing my own lyrics, but I don't accept lyrics from other people. That's never going to happen. But at the same time, I'm going to explain to you how you increase your creativity by using the inspiration of your settings. Means where you're at is going to be very important to how you find the battery of inspiration and keep using it, and it never wears out. And it's going to have a lot to do with where you're at and when you can turn around in a 360 and everything is litty, everything is beautiful, and you're really comfortable. Like right now, I'm in my home. It took me a long time, don't get it twisted, to create a beautiful environment at home. I think it has to start at home because if your home is beautiful when you turn around in a 360, then it's easier for you to keep the inspirational battery and keep going. And you don't need to always be on the beach or at a park or at a waterfall, you understand, or whether you're on a train. You can start where you live if you have a beautiful environment where you live, and you can create your own beautiful environment where you live, so that way your inspiration is there. So this is part of my creative writing process. I had to create a beautiful environment so that my inspiration is balanced, whether I'm writing poetry, whether I'm writing music, whether I'm writing a screenplay, whether I am writing a storyboard, or I'm writing a comic book, no matter if it's creative writing, then my home needs to be an environment where I'm allowed to exercise my creativity at all times. Even if my kids are playing in their room, I should still be able, or you should still be able, as a creative writer, to be able to accomplish your writing exercises per day or per week without a time limit according to your lifestyle. Whether you're coming home from work and you have a family, or you don't, or you're coming home from school, you understand, or you're on vacation. All of these things won't matter when your inspiration has a battery that will never go away because of the environment that you are in. Environment is very, very important. Sometimes creativity can work in a negative environment, like it did for me or many other people, writers. If you live in a negative environment, you can also use that negativity to turn it into positiveness. And you can actually create beautiful work. Like I said, whether you're writing a song, whether you're writing a book, whether you're writing a screenplay, or you're writing a regular theoretical play, or whatever type of poetry, whatever type of creative writing you're dealing with, you should be able to do that. So, getting back and moving forward, people ask me the creative writing process that I go through in order to come up with good songs. We'll deal with songs today, and on another day, I'll bring you back into literature and how I write poetry. But for now, we'll deal with music and songs. When I'm writing over music, there's different processes that I have. I'm not one of the I don't have a problem with artists, rappers, MCs who go in the studio and they don't have to use a pen and paper to write, and they can do songs after songs. Example, um, I won't give any examples because I don't want to say the name of certain artists, and they're trying to contact me because of what I said. So that's not going to happen. But there are artists who believe in not using a pen and paper, and they go in the studio and they do, I mean, the most creative work I've ever seen in my life. And those artists are a big inspiration to why I write more. You understand? So I believe in cognitive process. Big up to the memory muscle. You understand? I respect those artists who are not able, I mean, who are don't write and who are able to create songs. I think it's really beautiful. It's a lot of work for your sound engineer, but it's a creative process, which we're talking about today is creative process. So I understand that and I have a lot of respect for it. But me personally, Jason Jones, I am not the type of person that will go into a recording studio and just blatantly just say exactly what's in my mind and create a song. It's just not my cup of tea for the creative process because I've been a person of poetry before I started writing lyrics, whether they're hip hop, heavy metal, because I was in a heavy metal band as well, where I used hip hop lyrics over heavy metal music, and as well as in when I get to my own culture and hip hop and R&B, where I have to make a decision how I'm gonna approach my creative process. So what I'm trying to say is that I have to write. When I'm writing, I get much more of a calmer effect of thought process, and I'm able to really remember my songs, and I don't have to think I don't have to rehearse them after too much because the process of creating a song has took a good amount of time. I won't say a long time, but a good amount of time in the process of how my brain is functioning with how I'm receiving the message of what I'm writing and expressing. So that means that instead of me going into a studio and recording a song and not writing any lyrics, I would have to go back home and study those lyrics and study the performance of the studio in order to perform it. And that might take an artist some time. I won't have to do that if I already know what I've written. And I had a lot of problem with sound engineers in the very beginning of this situation because I would come to the studio and be able to do 3 songs in the matter of, let's say, I'll give it a little bit of leeway, 72 minutes. So the engineer is mad because I'm only paying by the hour. I'm an independent artist. I'm not with a record label. So I come in there and I'm paying for the hour. You can't even charge me after 60 minutes because I'm paying the hour and I've already did 3 songs because my songs are prepared. Now, this does not take away the fact that if you don't write your lyrics, you can't do the same thing. But like I just stated a few seconds ago, your process of relearning for performance might be a different outcome because you're gonna, if somebody call you the next day and say, yo, listen, we want you on stage tomorrow and we want to hear the song that you put out last week, you're gonna have to be cut your schedule and practice those songs unless you can remember every last thing, unless you're doing playback. I don't believe in doing playback too much. It's not part of my story, but we'll get into that another time. So today I came up to show you how I use my environment to find the inspiration directly to create, whether it's a verse, whether it's a chorus. We're dealing with music. So I'm going to play you something that I just found just now. And when I first heard it, I had to come up with a chorus right on the spot. But I had to write it down so that I don't forget. So I'm going to share this with the people who are interested in my music and my lifestyle and the things that I do. You can understand how I made the music that I made. That means that if you haven't went and got Wake Up the World, I would advise you to go look on iTunes or Google Play or any platform and go look up Jason Jones, Wake Up the World. Like I told you, I started writing poetry before I started doing music. So if you want to buy my book that was recently released not too long ago, The Poetical Journey by Jason Jones, you can pick up your copy as well on any platform, anywhere around the world. Have a great time reading it. Let me know what you think about The Poetical Journey by Jason Jones and Wake Up the World. So right now, like I said, I just listened to this instrumental. The instrumental, I'm looking on my computer right now, it's by NK Music. Shout out to him. So I'm just going to share you guys how I get inspired because of the environment that I live in, and it allows me to be creative very, very quickly. So check this out, okay?